So this is the story of me going from the Zugspitze to Ehrwald. And as a quick disclaimer, this video should not be used as a guide. Do not attempt this yourself unless you really know what you're doing. Especially don't do this, like me, alone, without proper equipment. It was an adventure, and it was great, but don't do this yourself. So the tour started at the top of the Wetterwandeck Express on the Zugspitze plateau with some nice, not too steep skiing. The weather was beautiful, the view was beautiful, and everything was great. So at a certain point you ski past the resort, you're lower, and that's the moment of full commitment. And then you arrive at the first ascent. I did not have skins, so I just climbed up, and it was quite doable. The weather was nice, the snow was not too bad, not too good. It was quite doable. So then you do a small traverse. So after the first ascent, you arrive at the Austrian-German border, and there's a fence right there because there's a walking path which is open in summer, but you can conveniently ski through it. So past the border crossing there's quite a steep drop in, but it's quite small, and there was enough snow to just ski down normally. So after the drop in there was another climb, and this one was hellish. The wind started blowing and it was like you were climbing in a blizzard. The snow was very bad, you slipped all the time, and it costed a lot of energy. And also in this part there was no mobile coverage, so my emergency contact could not be contacted, which made everything a lot more stressful. This was also the point at which I quit my original plan, because there was a third climb directly after the second climb in even stronger wind, because it was rotated and you had the wind sideways instead of the mountains covering it, and it was not doable. So I decided to change the plan and ski down the river, which should end up at a road at some point. So the path down the river was quite skiable at some points, and at some points this was not really the case. So there were a lot of rocks, it was quite shallow, and the snow was not great. And there were also quite some dead ends, meaning I had to take off my skis, walk back up and find another path. And at some parts the snow was really bad, or it was really steep, and I decided to slide down. I came across a bit of a slip slide of a snow layer, which is actually like an avalanche but without the kinetic energy to form a proper avalanche, meaning it just slides a bit, and it was luckily thin enough to just cross it without any problems. And the sliding was followed by some more skiing, and as I went down the slopes got better, they got less steep, there were less cliffs, but the snow got worse, so it was never great. And this continued for quite a while. In the end I think I did around 1.5 kilometers of just following the river. And then I was very happy because I finally got to the road, and I was even more happy because I saw that someone recently drove on it, meaning that the snow was packed. And this made it a lot easier to walk on since, as I said before, I didn't have skins. And when I arrived at the road I had to walk for 1.5 kilometers uphill, but it was not very steep and the packed snow made it very easy to walk on, and yeah, all was well. So in the end it was a great adventure. I would definitely want to return to the route again, with some other people this time, with proper equipment, because even though I had all the safety equipment such as an avalanche kit and an emergency contact, the not having skins and powder skis really had a big impact, a far bigger impact than I imagined on beforehand. And well, the weather also was not great because of the snowstorm I couldn't do the third climb, which made the skiing down a lot less nice, because the river skiing was just a way of going down instead of the very nice scenic skiing you get when you climb another hill and then ski to the top of the Ehrwald resort. And since I could not find any references of this exact line, I think I get to pick a name. and therefore I dubbed this line Towards the World's End. And this is basically a bit of a play on the Neuewelt Abfahrt, which also goes from the Zugspitze to Ehrwald, which goes in a straight line. Since this goes all the way around and then all the way down a river, you really feel like you're leaving the inhabited part of the world. And so I think the name Towards the World's End is very fitting.